yeah, guys, so let's go. Nexus team. Today, they are only one team, the only team that is coming from EU West 1. So all other teams, Arrogant Ravens, Eclairides, they are EU 2. Nexus is EU 1. Basically, they are international team. They play for quite a long time, since 1 hour. They are 1 hour veterans, as they describe themselves. So I imagine they play since first hours of the game. They joined the tournament to be a bit more competitive, but also have fun. So I mean, definitely a lot of fun is going to happen. Let's see if it will be fun if you lose. So I wish them the best, of course, but let's see what fun will come. They are aiming for the chicken dinner in this tournament, so winner. I guess first place is what they want to achieve. And basically, yeah, they participated earlier only in the dueling tournament, so they don't necessarily have any bigger tournament experience. So this might be a disadvantage for them, because as said earlier, they are playing versus Eclairides, and Eclairides, they are right now playing in the core tournament, and they also played in the first Aritournament. So they have definitely much more tournament experience coming here into that. On the other end, as said, Nexus team is playing much longer. Eclairides coming initially from EU4 server. They are playing just for several months. Nexus for much more. So, the in-game experience might be the different factor here between the teams to see how they go. And yeah, did they train, as you said, TB earlier, right? They arrogantly talked for 1 week.
Let's hope that they can put up the good fight, right? Show that it's not only talk. I'm so curious that they've been fooling around with us a little bit as well, right? Before the tournament with the questionnaires that we had them fill out as well. They don't want to show how big their game addiction is. They don't want to tell us what their level is in game. But it's got to be enormous, right? If you play from the first hour, I know there's a few people that have over level 5,000. Few people admitted it. Yeah, it's so good. And they also seem to have quite a few stories. Like, well, you gotta have quite a few stories if you've played together for so long. So if you're hoping to hear more about those, you should bet, right? Exclamation mark bet in chat and vote for Nexus. Hope they get out of group first and we get to interview them. They might be one of the funniest, most experienced teams in this tournament. Not in the tournament scene necessarily, but maybe as the players in this game. So yeah, I really hope they can put up a good fight. We also know that they actually love the season. They absolutely like the Berserkers, for example. So yeah, like we said, let's hope that they actually use the Berserkers. Maybe they 15-man Berserker into the first game. General, who knows? Would be really fun to see it. Yeah. We also know that their captain mains Maul. Maul is, of course, not the most popular weapon for some, and it is for the others. But he just wants to smash his opponents, and well, who can blame him, right? You can smash your opponents, you got to do it. So yeah, I love it. I think I love this team already, and I haven't even seen them play. I hope it's as good as they say it might be. We can also see in their age, like the youngest player they have is 22. Which is quite old for even a gaming community or even like average game team. Most of our teams have players below the age of 18, right? So they are still not adults. So they're old as well, or older. I don't want to say old here, but they are older. And they also feel that every map is unbalanced for either attack or defense. So they have an interesting perspective on the map as well. We know some teams don't like to play at a specific map at all, but this team seems to be fine with any map.
Okay, and as you can hear in the background, we are jumping into the game right now. So guys, finally we are here, ready for the battle. Let me switch quickly streaming to you. Yes, finally, after so much time, right? And actually the teams are switched. So we have the Nexus on the right side. Basically they loaded in like that. So Eclairides were already here, Nexus loaded in later. So let me switch that up. We have all the correct things here. So let's focus on the game. We have the Eclairides team versus Nexus. Eclairides we can see having a lot of heavy armor, but also quite a few spears and muskets. So definitely we will see where it goes. On the other team, Nexus, we have 2 long bows and 1 short bow. So very heavy on the light armor compared. What do you think about the units, CB?
Yeah, so at first I saw the defender squad actually taking a lot of berserkers, but they seem to have switched to armigers right now. You can see a lot of armigers on the defender side. So I'm curious if they want to sally out maybe from the fort. It's a really good possibility. I've done it quite a few times as well. We also see quite a few javelins on the Eclairides side. Like I said in the pregame, they do love to play with the javelin sergeant. So it seems that we got what we expected from Eclairides, but also some berserkers. And on the Nexus side, they are starting with quite a few cav in there.
Okay, let's take a short breather, guys. Hype up in the chat. Come on, spam some fucking emotes. Let's go. I cannot wait. Finally, after how many? 45 minutes. Let's go. Eclairides versus Nexus. Nexus defending, Eclairides attacking. Let's see what the team will take.
Let's look. And again, keep an eye out on Balanda and Metchin. They are the MVP players for Eclairides. So curious to see how they will perform. Metchin on the glaive, Balanda on the maul. They can dish out the damage. We've seen that before.
Yep, and we can see very, very quickly what is going to happen. The Eclairides team, all of them except Kiwi Choco have spawned here near the fort. You can see that they are climbing the ladders. They will open up in a moment and try to climb it. Let's see if the Nexus team can react in time. They are already starting to shoot the breach. They are going to try to destroy it. Remember that in the tournament you cannot place additional artillery. If you will not destroy the breach immediately, then you are out. And we can see that the attacking team using the trebuchets to try to counter the defenders moving to defend.
Very interestingly, Combo. I think that the Nexus team actually started with a lot of archers to shoot at the bridge. So they might actually try to destroy the bridge using archers, I think.
Yeah, as we can see right now, indeed, there is a lot of archers, but mainly they are focusing on the units. This might be not that bad idea, because look at that. They are coming to B, but all of them will be quite hurt from the bleed damage. So indeed, flanks, archers on the flanks, archers on the top, a lot of archers. But will they have enough melee units to defend? We can see trebuchets flying in to try to clear out the stairs, and we can see the Eclairides climbing with all of their team here. This is very good push, very well organized. All of them are coming. They have some small cover from the Namkhans in the back, but most of their units are melee. And we can see, yes, they have brought more melee units, more shields, more heavy units, and they were able to just kick Nexus out of here without pretty much any fight. I would say for free.
Yeah, totally. We haven't seen any player die yet. Traps keep flying in, of course, as Nexus retreats. And they have to defend C next, because B is already fallen.
Yeah, and if they are going to continue the tempo and push, they will be able to capture the A point for free. And that's what they are deciding to do. Eclairides leaving like 2 people or 3 people just to cover the stairs, cover the back, moving with most of the force to A side. But seems
they might switch it up here.
Yeah, seems like they noticed that the defenders of Nexus, they don't really defend A point. There is just 2 people, as you can see right now, defending A point, and they cannot hold it against like 3 or 4 people from Eclairides. So seems like they will be holding here on this upper point, shooting the archers down to all of the enemies, trying to kill as many units before they will be pushing the point. So
let's take a look at the units that are on the field right now. You can see Nexus is actually putting out a lot of armigers, so they are already expecting, or expected maybe, that Eclairides was going for the C point and get on the ground. But well, as we see, they are currently capturing A instead of C, and Nexus is kind of caught with the armigers on the ground there.
Indeed. And we have 12 trebuchets left. This is very open map for C and especially for the last cap. So this can be crucial. Only 3 trebuchets used to capture both A and B. A lot of firepower available for Eclairides for later on. But right now, seems like the game cooled off a little bit. Nexus have rethinked their strategy, repositioned, cooled down, pretty much said, guys, we lost A and B, but don't worry, there is still 2 more points to fight for, and they are doing it right now. We can see very nice coverage in the gate with the cavalry. He's waiting, Altsas is waiting for anyone to come down and attack them from the side. But then we can also see the good trebuch coverage. They are not allowing the defenders to come here. As there is a moment before the push, let's take a look at the stats.
Yeah, we can see Matchin, right? He's got the most unit kills already, so he's showing up today again, aiming for that MVP performance once again. We only got 1 death so far. It's Kiwi Choco who's got it, and he's been performing pretty well on tournaments quite often as well. And then the units, yeah, nothing special so far, just a few down here and there, except for Matchin taking out quite a bit as trebuchets continue to fly in on the ones.
Yes, and the trebuchets is the key thing here. This is the big advantage of the attackers. Defenders don't have any artillery available. The only one they could use was on the walls, and walls are long gone. So right now what is happening is a bit of stagnation. I believe that this stagnation is due to the attackers going to heal up and regroup the units. Remember, this attack was quite fluent, quite fast, and quite aggressive. They have not used too many units, they have not lost too many units, but many of their units were under constant fire of several Namkan archers and different ranged units. They have lost a lot of health. Even if they have not died, they have lost a lot of health, and right now they are regrouping, healing back, and we have our first kill happening here. Sorry, this was 2 kills already. All right.
And I don't want to hype him up, but there's Matchin again, right? Taking the kill. Let's see if he continues his performance. And as you can see on the map, right, it's kind of split left to right currently because the supplies are so far stretched out. And this is one of the things that makes it so hard to attack here. The attacker team really has to get the supply on the right side if they want to continue pushing forward, because the right supply is so close to the C point. So somehow they need to get down, and they must be discussing how they want to approach this because they're waiting for quite a few minutes here.
Yeah, this is something I have noticed indeed. The resupply on this point, it takes a lot of time. That's a minus. You have to walk a long way, right? You cannot even go directly here. You have to go here, through the stairs. You have to then climb up. You have to go to the wall, and then you are back. And it seems like their units are just coming back. Look at that. They lost like 3 minutes just to heal back their units. Imagine if their first push will not work. They will not have too much time left for the second try. Even if they have 1,180 units left, they still might be having some problems with the time if they will not move as soon as possible.
Yeah, and Eclairides seem to split up a little bit. They are sending some heroes to A point, but they are going there without units, so they can't really push anything. They also, of course, still have the gate closed, which is interesting because they might be able to use the gate to get some armigers through there as well, to get maybe quicker supplies, because the tree, of course, takes longer to get there. And yeah, right now we just see Eclairides doing what we've seen them doing in other games as well. They stay grouped as one big blob and look for opportunity.
So before they push, let's quickly, because push is coming in a moment, let's quickly look at the defense. We can see some cavalry on the side. We can see some of the javelins on the side as well. So this will be flank damage coming in. We can see some Janissaries, very nice unit in my opinion. If placed correctly and allowed to shoot for a long time, they can really do the damage. Then we have some Namkans hidden behind here. Another Namkans played very aggressively. Probably this one might be used to bait out trebuchets. Attacking team, still 10 trebuchets left. They might be using this unit to bait. And we have a lot of cavalry here to come out from different directions. Remember, attacking team didn't open the gate. They don't have any cavalry available yet. They are in disadvantages here when it comes to mobility. They are pushing out. Let's take a look behind them. Let's see what they do, where they go, how they play this one. We can see they are having a lot of pike units combined with shield units to stop any potential cavalry. We can see Kiwi Choco blocking here from the right side with Imperial pikes. Very good flank blockage, but there is one more entry. Let's see if this will be used. They are coming into the point.
To block off the back, that is one of the dangerous places, right?
Indeed. Right now we can see, as I said, cavalry coming right from where I said, and also from the front, from the left, from everywhere. The cavalry is riding from all the directions. But look at that, there are a lot of heavy armors, a lot of shields and pikes. They are right now holding okayish, I might say, from the Eclairides side.
Yeah, so far they are. Looks like some cav got through, which shouldn't have, but right now they are defending quite a bit, but looks like they are getting overrun slowly. The reinforcements can keep coming in. Maybe look at the supplies, see if there's new ones coming in as well.
And we can see actually on the top right now from the unit left that there is 700 units left in the attackers, 900 in the defenders. This was very heavy clash. A lot of units lost on both ends, as you can see, a lot of dead bodies everywhere. I can barely see the floor of the seaport here, but this is going to be successful defense from Nexus team, even though they have lost a lot for it. There is just a couple of cavalry units left. Maybe they will have some more on other players and they will switch it up, but for now the defense have succeeded. Let's look at the stats.
Let's see how quick they regroup, right? And maybe we have time now to look at the units as well. It's still matching on top, but let's look at Nexus because they got the big win here, right? It's Alelos, which got quite a lot of unit skills here. He's also got a kill, so they've been doing really well. And as we see, Eclairides grouping at the front gate this time.
Yes, and we can see that they are spawned here. They very intelligently opened the gate for themselves to allow them to come in, but the timing was just there. One moment left to allow them to come in. Unfortunately, Nexus team were able to close the gate in front of them, so they are climbing up. This is still not a problem in terms of unit lost, but a big problem in terms of time. They have to climb up, they have to open the gate, they have to allow their cavalry in to have this available for use. But right now we can see a bit of a rush from the heroes, still units not there. We will see if they will push and put a pressure on the last point or if they're going to continue to the C point. In my opinion, I think they should focus on C, as there is not too many time left. 5 minutes, you still have 9 trebuchets. Use them more aggressively. Try to close out enemy possible angles of attack to just like 2 and 3 and control them there. That would be my advice right now. But let's see how Eclairides will use what they have left.
Yeah, very curious. We can see on Nexus that they have a lot of pikes this time. Their armigers are out for a little bit, and they seem to have switched to pikes and shields mainly. Whereas Eclairides has a lot of javelins, but over to General, they seem to be pushing it.
Yep. Seems like they have made a different decision. They are going to pressure the plus side. That's quite good, because right now we can take a closer look on the units and on the battlefield. We can see a lot of force coming in, a lot of javelins being thrown, but the problem for attackers here is if defenders are not being pressured on the point, they can resupply and shoot endlessly, and this is what's happening right now. You can see the javelins are throwing and throwing and throwing constantly. We can see the flank coming in, the Imperial pikes. Even though the coverage is there, the Imperial pikes can go through anything.
Look at the top, look at the top, look at the top. Eclairides made a big brain move and they brought in their cap. They ran all the way around.
This is amazing flank. This is great flank. Look at that, indeed. Thank you very much, CB. Look at that. This won them the plus. This is basically, yeah, big brain move.
Might be the winner, yeah, for them, at least for this point. Matching, racking up the kills. He's getting 3 kills already, 160 unit kills. That's great. But other people are also following up as well.
And with this 200 IQ play, the back flank of 2 armingers into everything they had, not shielded. The Nexus team left their flank wide open, and it was very nicely used by Eclairides. But time is still ticking. There is 3 minutes left only. There is right now 10 versus 12 people left. 10 attackers left and 14 already respawned, so they are in the disadvantage, Eclairides. 3 minutes left only. It might be hard for them to capture it. Especially that they used a lot of their trebuchets, only 7 are left. They will not close them off and allow them even to come to the point, the fight on the point can take so much time that they will not be able to capture it. And remember, defenders are using a lot of heavy armor, so they can also have this stagnated.
Yeah, and the Eclairides team are still coming from different flanks now, like they used to before, but they are getting flanked as well, it seems.
Yep, so a lot of cavalry flanks coming. Someone asked before the game if with the Armingers, yes, on maps like that you can see a lot of Armingers. So we can see right now Eclairides team, they have more manpower on the point itself, and they have been able to crush the attackers. Right side was attacked by the horses, it was countered, the back also. Very nice control of all the flanks. I really admit Eclairides did learn their mistake from the first push, and right now they really covered all of the flanks. I think they are listening to me because all the advice I'm giving is getting implemented, so very good on their end.
Yeah, you're improving their gameplay, it seems, and we are seeing a very different Eclairides in this in these last two pushes than what we've seen from them before. They finally managed to time their flanks correctly. They might have been a little late sometimes, but they are attacking from different sides, and this is totally different than what I've seen from them before.
And right now, I want to highlight one very important thing. If you look at the top of the screen, there are 3 numbers I need to read to you. 4 minutes left, only 4 minutes, that's not too much. But the units, 500 left for Eclairides, compared to 300 of Nexus. It's almost twice. If they will be able to play very aggressively right now on the Eclairides side, they are able to wipe all the units. And if you look at the lives left, there is still quite a lot of heroes who have 2 lives left. Remember, you can only spawn twice, you only have 3 lives. If you see here on the deaths, if someone have 2 deaths, he's on his last life right now. So this is something they need to watch out. Let's look at some players, what they will be trying to do here.
Yeah, but this is very important because you could see on Eclairides side that there were 5, 6, 7 players on 2 deaths already. So if this push fails and those players die, they might have lost their half of their team for the remaining minutes. So Nexus is in a bad position, but in terms of heroes, if they kill enough, they might still have the advantage.
And we can see already some Armingers left over for the attacker team. They are getting the pressure on the flank, and we have the full push. Very nice opening trebuch, trying to cut down the shields, and they are coming in very strong. Look at that, very good usage. Another trebuch coming in the back and trying to clear the damage. Horses from the flank, flowing through a lot of the units, and I think Eclairides are on the big advantage here. They have much more units left. Another trebuch flying in, clearing all the backend. Look at that big thin line, it's pushing forward and it's not stopping. They are able to close the flanks.
Only 1 sword unit left on the point, that's it, that's everything they have.
Yep, only few heroes left right now, 90 units left, nothing else is going to come from the Nexus team. But it's still not over. They have 6 people alive right now. If they will be able to utilize their lives to the advantage and stagger 1 by 1, they still might be able to pull it off. It's only 2 minutes, it's not that far. I see only 1 people from Nexus team who died 3 times cannot respawn. So there is still, okay, there is 2 right now, but there is still a lot of lives left on the Nexus team. If they will be able to do it 1 by 1, they still have a chance. It seems like it's
so well. Look at this, those short swords, they can stay on the point for so long. They just keep coming in 1 by 1 from the sides. But can they keep doing this for 2 minutes? I've seen the player do it for a full minute, but it's going to be so hard versus 15 players.
There is just a few seconds left on the clock, and I think now we have 1 more short sword coming in, so there are 2 currently.
Oh, they're still doing it, General. They're still doing it.
They're still doing it, but okay, another spear coming in, but okay, few people spawned.
There's still 5 more coming.
And bam. Yeah, it was very close on this one, and very nice match. I was not expecting such a fierce fight from the first opening match, to be honest with you, CB.
Yeah, same. And I think we saw, like we said, it seemed like the teams were like feeling each other out. They were waiting, they were looking, and suddenly the game exploded. And Eclairides showed some really big improvements. Nexus might be a little shaky, maybe, but yeah, interesting.
Okay, let's take a moment of, as I said, sorry, coming right from where I said up. I'm getting ready something, but yeah. Okay. guys, let's go through the statistics right now because we have few minutes left before the next fight. Next fight will be against of the same teams but against each other on the different sides, so we will see how they do. But for now, MVP for the Eclairides scent, Matt Shin. Congratulations, 4 kills, 1 death, 17 assists, and 133 unit kills. That's a lot. You very rarely see scores like that on the sieges. Not to say that this is tournament, many different things are happening. But on the other hand, Nexus team, 5 kills as a short sword. I mean, that's definitely going to be from his units. But yeah, very good usage here. 12 assists as well. Very nice. 3 deaths. I mean, 3 deaths is what you want to see at the end of the game. They tried, it seems, it makes it visible that they tried their best to defend it. Very nice match, 1 minute left. And what else can you tell us, CD, about the game?
Yeah, again, Matchin taking the MVP, of course, right? And as well, Belanda is on the second place. They are their 2 top performers. That's pretty clear. I'm trying to look at the Nexus team, and we can see 3-4 players really standing out with the hero kills, right? So I'm going to keep an eye out on them the next game. But I really want to look into a clip, if we can, of their second push into the supply. I think we can bring that up. It just shows how Eclairides really started doing things differently during the game. They fought really hard about it, but then they did the big brain move, right, like we said. I think that was such a great push. I'll give you the time to set it up if you can.
Mm-hmm.
That was wonderful to look at, right? If we take the clip, you can also see how long it took them to even get there, and it almost failed because their main push was actually almost going down.
Yeah, you need to give me a bit more time to prepare it. So what can you tell us about the post-game screen, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we saw was 3-4 big pushes, right? Which is what we typically also see. Another thing that is pretty good to see for the Eclairides side is that all their team members seem to have really participated in this battle. They all have above 50 unit kills. Might not always seem like a lot, but it shows that they were all involved, and you can also see it in their assist stat, right? Almost all of them have assists above 10. So they all worked really well together in this game, as we could see during the game as well. On the Nexus side, they were always flanking from different sides, and you can see it in their stats. Some members really have low unit kills, really low participation as well in the assist. So they might have to think about their next game and see if they can work better together. Or if they put up the flanks, they have to make sure they work. You could see on the first attack that they managed to flank really well, and that was how they beat Eclairides on the first attack, but after that they were just too disjointed to actually follow up.
All right, and I am ready with the first reply.
All right, let's roll it. Okay, so let's see, is this the first attack? Yeah.
Yep, so shall we start?
Oh yeah, you can start. Yeah, absolutely, go for it.
Right now we can see, as I said...
Alright, so this is the first attack, and as you can see, right, all the cap going to the left side. So here you can see Nexus really flanking so well. They were coming in from the left, from the top, from the right. It's just they are everywhere, and Eclairides just have way too much to think about here. They tried to block their different sides, like you said. We saw Chihuahua block the bottom side with his Imperial Pikes, but it just wasn't enough. And we saw Eclairides getting swarmed over. So that was the first push. Really well played by Nexus there.
Okay.
But they had to use a lot of cap there, right? And I think that broke them up. They really relied on the defense there with their cap. We saw them take it out really early. And then it was over for them after that. But let's look at the second clip, because this was so good for Eclairides.
Yeah, let's go.
So here we focused on the bottom side, right? And you could see the cap going around so long, and here they come in and they just annihilate everything that is there. Just look at those numbers going down. It's so good, so juicy. It's gonna feel so good to do this in a tournament game, right? Yeah. Amazing.
To pull off something like that in a tournament is definitely a highlight moment of the, I think, whole day. Might be even the whole tournament.
Might be already.
Might be. We will see how it goes further on. And let's jump to the last clip.
Yeah, the last clip is just Eclairides grinding it out, right? Here they do what we've seen them do so many times before in games. They just group up as 15 players and push up. And in this time it actually worked because they just had more numbers in terms of units. They also got a little flank there with the armigers, which got through. Look at that, taking down quite a few units. And here, I would actually like Eclairides to spread out more, right? Send some units to the bottom side, try to go in from the left or the right. But they just got it done because the traps kept flying in and they just had more push there. And that gave them the win in the end.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much for the additional input.